to find out who this person is. And this is my amazing Tum Tum Pa, just to give you a little bit of suspense. And guys, I am super, super happy to announce this person because this person was kind of one of the gifts that Isaac gave me, honestly speaking, because I'm not working with her anymore. Spoiler, it's a girl. And I got the opportunity to work with her during my previous term as ICB chair. And I can say right now that it's more than a colleague or work colleague. I can consider her as my friend. So please, guys, give a very warm welcome to Pat. Pat was AI VP for the previous AI term. And because of all of the idea of the compliance metrics, the governance system, and so on, I got the opportunity to work directly with her. And this was very, very special moment for me because I really got to know a friend. So thank you so much for accepting this invitation, Pat. I'm super, super happy to have you here with us today and also tomorrow. And welcome to the ECB plenary. The mic is all yours.
Hello, thank you so much, guys. Such a nice introduction. How is everyone doing? I see some faces, others are with your cameras off. So just so you know, I'm gonna share my screen, but I have two screens so I can see all of your faces while I'm also sharing and speaking. I usually move the window so I can see all of your faces. So if you want to put your camera and also use the reactions on Zoom, I will definitely be looking at them. Nice, thank you so much for inviting me. Now I'm going to share my screen. So Ka, can you? Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. How is everyone today? From 1 to 10, you can put in the chat how much energy do you have? Ooh. Let me see. 9. Ooh, awesome. Wait, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Is it full? What do you see? Is it the full?
I see the slide. Day 2, VICO.
Oi, não faz muito tempo não, porque choveu, né?
Bom dia, Letícia.
Hang on. What do you see now?
Still the slide. Day 2, VICO.
So here?
Hello, I'm Pat.
Okay, awesome. Great. So welcome everyone to day 2 of VICO. My name is Patricia and I'm going to have, you can also call me Pat, because I'm here with you for 2 days for opening and closing. I'll tell you like random things about myself that you can learn a little bit more about me throughout this. So first of all, I'm Venezuelan, born and raised. I live in Canada right now, but I'm 100% Latina and I love everything that has to do with Latin America. I also love raw salmon. So if I could have one thing for the rest of my life, it would definitely be raw salmon. And I'm obsessed with to-do lists. Anyone else here obsessed with to-do lists? I love to make lists of the lists of the lists. Yes, Richard, Refka, amazing. We're gonna bond over all the to-do lists that we make. Awesome. But for some of you, you might be, I mean, Karina told you a little bit about me, but I'm sure that majority of you have not worked with me or maybe know about me. So you would be like, who are you? Why are you here? So I'll tell you, I'll spend all the opening plenary telling you a little bit about my story. But if you wish, you can also call me an Isaac dinosaur. I am quite old. I've joined Isaac a while ago. And today I'm going to be sort of like this experienced Isaacer, just telling you all about my stories in the hopes that you can connect with them and also hear a little bit about a different perspective. So if you want to get like popcorn or something to hear my story, go ahead. But before we start, I want to know, when do you think that I joined Isaac? So you can put it in the comments. So if I'm an Isaac dinosaur, how old do you think, or how long ago do you think I joined it? 2012, 2014, 2010, whoa. Okay, not that old. 2011, 1996, 1948. Yeah, I founded Isaac actually. But look, I look very young. 2019. Okay, some of you have said it actually. It was 2013. So it's been like 8 years. And I was in Isaac for 7. And all of them doing different roles. But to be honest, if you would say, I mean, yes, I joined Isaac in 2013, but my Isaac journey, I would say it started in 2011. Can anyone guess what happened in 2011? I kind of said it a little bit to see GV exchange, kind of an exchange, yeah, but not GV exchange. No, let's see if you were paying attention at the beginning when I said that I was from Venezuela. So what happened? Always GV, never in GV. Can anyone guess?
Revolution?
No, no. I mean, yes, but not it was not the reason why it started for me. Wow, it's okay. Like I said, uni, yes, kind of. So like I said, I'm from Venezuela and I was born and raised in Venezuela, but in 2011 I graduated high school in Venezuela and I traveled to this beautiful country called Canada. So this is where I would say that my Isaac journey started without even me joining Isaac, because I moved to a different country. It was the first time that I was living by myself. I didn't even know how to do proper laundry. Like I had to learn how to do everything from cooking, like knowing the right food to buy, knowing like a different language. And I moved to Montreal, so we speak French, English. And I was so with English, very definitely not good in French. And I was meeting people from everywhere. It was the first time that I actually had 4 seasons. So in Venezuela, we just have rain and dry and drought. So it was the first time that I was experiencing the 4 seasons and talking to people from everywhere around the world. So without me realizing it, I was going through the inner and outer journey myself. And it was when I joined Isaac that everything kind of clicked. And I was like, oh, this is what is happening to me. I'm in a challenging environment. I don't know. I don't feel in my comfort zone. I'm constantly getting challenged into my beliefs and my perspectives. And when I joined Isaac and we had they explained me what Isaac was about. And they told me that Isaac was in 100 and something countries and territories, and that what they do was leadership development in young people, and like making sure that people, like young people, could make sense of the experiences that they were having and decide what kind of impact they wanted to have in the future. I was like, oh my God, this makes so much sense. Like these things are happening to me right now. And thanks to Isaac, I had the opportunity to sort of close that experience, or not close it, but like be able to reflect on the experiences and make sense of them. So when I joined Isaac, I was definitely this person. I was like, I have no idea what Isaac does. I cannot communicate what Isaac does. Like there's too many complicated things and acronyms that I don't know, but I definitely want to be a part of it because it sounds interesting, it sounds exciting, and it sounds something that I want to be part of. So I started my Isaac journey in 2013, and my first role was a UR member. As a UR member, like university relations member, I didn't do anything. I only sent one email to the university, and then I attended an info booth. That's all the things that I did. And if I were to leave my Isaac experience by then, I would be like, okay, Isaac is just a university club, nothing very unique about it. But I still had that drive to continue and experience what Isaac was about. So in 2014, there was an opportunity to apply for TL, and I was TL OGX. And in this one, was my first time that I actually got to learn about ECB, because we had a lot of cases that were happening from EPs from Canada in different parts. Unfortunately, one of the EPs was in an armed robbery at some point, and of course, it just things that happens. But I remember for the first time, I just joined university. I went from just sending one email in Isaac to suddenly having to deal with an armed robbery case and making sure that this person was safe and was okay and understood all the things that they needed to do. I was like, holy shit, I'm only like 20 years old and dealing with someone else's life. that's when I understood like, wow, ISEC is intense, and definitely real. And then in that year also, the EB was having a lot of issues. My VP resigned, so I took over the VP role, and then the EB resigned. So half of the EB resigned. It was just 3 people: the finance, myself, and the LCP at that time, kind of like juggling a lot of things. People were leaving, and you would think that, I mean, there was a lot of frustration and a lot of challenging times. And I'm explaining you my ISEC journey in both ways, like the good things and the not so good things, so that you can also see that, yeah, no ISEC journey is smooth. And you would think that a sane person would be like, yeah, I'll leave ISEC this year. You know, it's a lot of complications. There's just a lot of drama going around. People are leaving. Like, what is the point? But no, I was like, no, I really believe in this organization. So I'm going to apply for LCP, and I'm going to make sure that we can continue in this journey together. So I applied for LCP. And this was one of the best and most challenging experiences of my life. For the first time, I was leading people, and I was responsible for people. And and also what happened here is that I had the opportunity to be part of the ISEC 2020 process. So, I mean, now you're into ISEC 2025. Imagine by that time we were defining what ISEC 2020 was going to look like. And I had the opportunity to interact with people from all over the world in one room and having conversations about what ISEC means to us and what is the difference, what kind of impact ISEC makes in the world. And for me, that was when I understood. I was like, oh, this organization is so incredible. Like I have the opportunity to talk to people from everywhere around the world and understand what impact what they care about as young people, what kind of impact ISEC makes in their realities, and it's completely different from what I think. And then sometimes people would really get caught up into one word, and then you would see that that's because in their cultures, like, wording really matters, and the type of information that you put in a brochure or in a definition really matters. And for other people was about the passion and about like what it meant, and like the big words that don't have a lot of meaning but really shake you. So I was amazed at that, and that I think that was the time where I was like, again, ISEC is unreal. Like, I have never met something like this, and I'm in university and I have the opportunity to feel this. And at the same time, the university wanted to fire me because I was not part of the faculty that ISEC was part of. So I had to deal with a lot of drama also in that time. And I felt like I was not wanted and that I was a failure or a fake sort of LCP because that I was being felt that way as an LCP. So after that, I finished my LCP journey, and I was still studying in university, and I was still wanting to complete my university degree. So I was like, okay, I'll take a step back. I knew that I wanted to do ISEC full time, but I was studying public relations in university. So I did a national support team for ISEC in Canada in public relations. And here I had the opportunity to actually go to the UN when the Sustainable Development Goals were adopted. And I also had the opportunity to go to the Youth Action Summit. So Youth Action Summit was the summit that happened in 2017 when ISEC actually took the pledge and the commitment to advance the Sustainable Development Goals. And that's pretty much the birth of the GV that we know right now. So that was super exciting to be part of. And I was a national support team at that time. So it's not, my role was, I mean, I was not supposed to go to that, but I pitched it to my MC and they really enjoyed it. So I had the opportunity to go. Then I was MC of ISEC in Australia. So Australia was my dream country for since I was 15 years old. I don't know why, but I had this sort of fixation with Australia. So when I graduated a university, ISEC, I knew that you could apply for anywhere around the world in ISEC. So I chose to go to Australia. And I was doing digital marketing and I didn't know at all what digital marketing was about. Like I knew the concept of strategy and working with communications, etc. But in terms of money and ads and how to work the nitty-gritty details, I didn't know. So I failed a bunch of times trying to figure it out, and also became aware that I'm a very anxious person, especially when I'm in situations where I don't really feel confident enough or experienced enough. So I struggled a lot with that. But at the same time, I had an amazing team with who I could speak about all of these things at the same time. Then when I was in Australia, most of our exchange or most of our conversations and partnerships were with people from Asia and the Pacific, especially Southeast Asia. So we were sending people to Indonesia, to Philippines, to Malaysia, Vietnam, and I became very interested in the Asia Pacific region. I thought that I was going to leave ISEC after my MC term. I was like, I will do 1 year abroad and then I will come back and then find a job. But once again, I applied to regional office, and I was regional office of Asia and the Pacific for Global Entrepreneur. So if you know, Global Entrepreneur is a product, was a product of ISEC before, and this was probably the year where I was the most challenged mentally, because I got to learn and fall in love with diversity, with different cultures, understand how different people work. And that was an amazing experience for me. I also had a lot of trouble working with people that were different from me, not different in the sense of cultures, but different working styles. Like I love to do lists. I'm very structured. I'm very into deadlines. And this was the opportunity where I got challenged working with people that are more creative, that don't do as well with structure. So we had a lot of clashes in that sense, and that allowed me to learn a lot about Raj, that she's one of my best friends. Also, she became one of my best friends. So I had the opportunity to learn that my way is not the only way, and that there's definitely a lot more opportunity when you embrace diversity and different working styles and different points of views. And I also, fun fact, I had to share a bed with two people, so Raj and Jesse, for a whole year. So that was also interesting. There was no personal space at all. Yes. Great. And then my last role. So here in this role, actually, I started to realize, because I got to see ISEC from a different perspective, in a more holistic way in my region, but I was no longer responsible for only one territory or one entity. I was responsible for multiple, and I started to see the dynamics and how things were working. And this is where I became the most frustrated with ISEC, because I felt like, yes, we have the potential to be such an amazing organization that delivers leadership, that does this unique, like for young people, by young people. You really get a firsthand experience of different cultures and talking to people that live and breathe the cultures and the impact that they want to make, but we're not doing it in a way that it's fair. We're not doing it in the best way. And I saw a lot of sort of cutting corners and not doing it the best way that would put the person experiencing the ISEC experience at risk. And this is where I became super, super passionate about structure and the governance system that you now know a little bit more about. So I was like, okay, I want to apply to ISEC International so I can fix it. So I can actually do something about it now that I will have the responsibility. So I applied for ISEC International. That was my last role. AIVP Global Volunteer. I was shitting my pants when I heard that I was going to Global Volunteer, because I was like, this is the biggest product and there's a lot going on and all the entities run it and there's a lot of different ways of running it. So I was very scared, but I realized that I was also put there for a reason. And it's because, what I wanted to do was making sure that we could deliver leadership experiences to young people, and that the work that we did is not focused on how many numbers we can get or how much recognition we can get. So, but it's actually rooted in the impact and the kind of experiences that we want to give to people. So here I got to work with 21 nationalities, and it was also the most stressful year of my life because not only, well, so far, because not only I was with the constant stress of like, you have like in your hands is the biggest product of ISEC, and whatever you do, everyone is looking at whatever thing you're going to say, but also COVID happened. So imagine when you have this pressure and suddenly it's like now you're in the middle of a pandemic, you need to make very hard decisions about what is going to happen to your product. People are challenging for different, like from different ways and different perspectives. They're telling you that this doesn't make sense, or that this needs to happen, that a lot of people will be, there's a lot of like consequences that will come from the decisions that you make. So that was extremely stressful, but we did it. I mean, this is not something that is new to all of you for sure, but that time it was very stressful for the whole team. And of course, we couldn't finish the experience how we wanted to finish it. And also we couldn't sort of deliver all the things that we wanted to deliver. But at the same time, I saw it as an opportunity to take a step back and organize and kind of see really what we could review with the time that we had been given in that sense. So that was my last experience in ISEC, and now you're wondering what I do. So in 2021, well, I started in 2020 after my ISEC experience. I took some months off, and then I started applying for jobs. And now I'm a technical project manager at Flight, which is a tech company subsidiary of the biggest food delivery. So Just Eat, if you know Just Eat, Skip the Dishes in Canada, Grubhub, Menulog. So we do integrations for that. And this is my beautiful team, also a group of super amazing people that I've got to meet outside of ISEC. And we have a lot of fun together in our team. But that's a little bit more about my ISEC experience. And it's fair to say, at least for me, that you could say that I am who I am because of ISEC. I mean, I told you most of the things that shaped my life in terms of my beliefs, my perspectives, my ways of working. But it's not necessarily because of ISEC, because that would be just giving too much responsibility to ISEC, but it's more because of what I chose to do with ISEC and what opportunities I decided to take. And no matter the role, really looking into what was available for me. And these are some things I took some memes from the meme group. I don't know if you're there. If you're not, join. It's super fun. But anyway, whenever I was applying outside, or whenever you go to an ISEC experience or you start ISEC, people always say like, oh my God, when you're an ISECer, like you will be a lot more employable and you will be like getting all the skills that are important for a job. But I didn't think that this was true until I actually got outside of ISEC and started to experience things in the sort of outside of ISEC world. I don't want to call it real world because I think ISEC is very real too. But essentially, I experienced what I would have experienced in a career 10 times faster. So those 3 years that I was working full-time for ISEC, and those 3 years that I was, or 4 years that I was doing ISEC in a volunteer basis in my LC, were accelerating all the challenges, all the situations that I would have dealt with in any organization outside 10 times faster. Because imagine I joined, and then my first case was an armed robbery outside of the country, and I needed to make sure that this person was okay. Like this sort of experiences are definitely accelerated in ISEC. And talking about them, not a lot of people will understand these type of experiences until you live them. But not only for me, the most important thing is not necessarily what I learned in terms of skills for getting the job done, but life skills. And these life skills, regardless of the position that you're in, regardless of the job that you're doing, regardless of where you're at or how you need to execute your job, ISEC gave me the ability to face and overcome adversity and look at like literally, and I know it sounds cliche because it's our leadership development model, but becoming solution oriented, looking at like having a challenge and seeing past the challenge and being able to look for solutions and the best solutions, not only like whichever easy solution was there, but the one that makes the most sense, or that the one that is the right thing to do. Isaac also gave me the opportunity to know myself, what I stand for and what I care about. Now I think that the world became a much more closer place to me than I had before, because now I made it personal. I know people from almost everywhere around the world, and I connect with people from almost everywhere around the world, that for me now the issues that are happening are completely personal, and I'm able to relate even if I haven't experienced it myself, thanks to the opportunities that Isaac gave me in that sense. And the last one, it gave me the tools to connect and work with others, not only people that are different in my working style, but also people that have completely different experiences, completely different perspectives, some that might be very opposite to my own, but gave me the tools to be able to find common ground, to work together despite our differences, and because of our differences, make sure that we have the most holistic approach to anything that we're going to do. And you can see it here. I mean, this is not to brag or anything like that, but this made me very proud. This was my first review in the quarter from my team leader in Flight, in my new company. And I realized that some of the things that he's saying, like, for example, my organizational skills, going above and beyond every day with the best attitude, having fun while doing it, and taking on initiatives to improve things, like all of these things it's just me, and it's what I developed, that passion that I developed with Isaac. I was just able to implement it wherever I go. So this was sort of like this looking back and realizing like, oh my God, yeah, Isaac was an incredible opportunity for me to work on that. So I know that, I mean, this is from 2020. So I know that when a lot of the times that I explain my Isaac experience, you must be thinking like, oh yeah, you know, those times where coronavirus was not a thing and Isaac was like this and everything was perfect. And, you know, you could do all of these things. And I mean, right now this is not new for you. And probably you already have the different expectations from people that were applying a year ago that thought that their year was going to go very differently. But the truth is that whatever happens, there's no Isaac journey that is smooth. In my years, like it was that my university wanted to fire me, that people were not connected to the Isaac way, that people were leaving, that they didn't see the value, that coronavirus hit and we needed to deal with the crisis, that GV was losing more money than it could actually, that we could actually sustain for the organization, and there was no way to stop it. There's no Isaac journey that is smooth. And for you, it's going to be a completely different challenge and a completely different ways of working, but still, that's what makes it worth living, because in the end, this is life. And Isaac prepares you, I mean, at least for me, Isaac prepared me for life more than any other university or more than any other job that I did, because it's the combination of passion and something that you care about that is bigger than yourself. It was a combination of challenges and professional challenges, but also personal challenges, finding the balance and overcome adversity, whatever comes our way. So I hope that you feel that this experience that you have is worth living, regardless of the challenges that will come. And my invitation to you is that you own your story and not focus on what it could be or what it was before, but what it is right now and what you're doing about it. And I think that's a lot more inspiring than looking at all the things in which, or all the ways in which it could go that is not the current way. And that's why I wanted to ask you, and think about it. If you want, write it on your notebook or wherever you're taking notes. Why are you here today? Is it because someone sent you an email and told you, oh, you need to be in this conference because you need to learn new things? Or is it because there's something really that you believe in Isaac and you want to contribute to it by making it better, more structured, that people understand what exactly makes an Isaac experience and you're able to sort of guard that? Or is it because you want to learn and or meet people from everywhere around the world? Because even though you're not physically in the same place, you have the opportunity to connect with people from all around the world. So why are you here today? And second, what is it that you want to get from Isaac? Because like I said, you could say that Isaac, like I am who I am because of Isaac, but like I said, I don't want to give that Isaac that responsibility because it in the end is up to me. So what are you choosing to make with Isaac? What are you choosing to do for yourself, and what do you want to get from it? And today, in your conference, I saw the agenda, you're going to go all about the role that you play in Isaac, the role that that you have as ECB chairs, as members of ECB, the relationship with the MC, the relationship with ICB. So you're going to learn more about the different ways of working. So I want to ask also, how are you going to lead that change? Because one thing that I know for sure, and I'm going to keep talking about it in these 2 days that we have, is that you are going through a huge transitional time in Isaac, not only because of the current challenges externally, not only because Isaac is redefining what it means to deliver leadership experiences to young people and embracing what is coming in the future, but also because since, at least for the first time since I know of Isaac, since I've been in Isaac, you are delivering a huge structural change when it comes to governance that you are the main drivers of, the audit system, the governance system, the compliance matrix, all the things that need to be taken care of. I mean, right now, you're going to be faced with a lot of resistance because it's new, because people are not used to this, because people are going to feel like it's too much. But the idea, imagine when there comes, like when all of this is implemented and people understand what it means to have a leadership development experience within Isaac and what is Isaac, from the details of protecting that leadership experience, that is going to be just a given. And the challenge that you have right now is that you're in that transitional stage where people still don't fully grasp the benefits or the understanding of why a governance system is important, and they might be giving you a lot of resistance to it. So in a way, you have the opportunity to be the leaders of that change for your entities, for your LC, for the LCs in your entities, for the global network as a whole. So how are you going to lead the change? Is my question that I want to leave you with today and throughout all the conference, throughout the day today. Think about it. What kind of leader do you want to be, and what kind of role do you want to play in this change that Isaac is going through? And that is it for today, for my opening. So thank you so much for listening to me for like half an hour, talk to you about my story. Hopefully there's some things that you can gain from it, and have a great day. Let me stop sharing my screen. Karin, I think you're muted.
Karina, you are still muted.
Oh, thank you. I was not being able to unmute myself. So, thank you so much, Pat. And guys, I have like a very, very special request for you all.
You're muted.
You're muted once again.
Sorry, it's because someone else was speaking, so I tried to mute them, but your name got in the front.
Yes, because when you mute everyone that is not host, I am not hosting here, so you will mute myself too. Remember that. Don't mute everyone if the person that is speaking is not host. Cool. So what I was saying is, Pat has an amazing experience in Isaac, an amazing mind, and very inspirational words And that's why I invited her to be here with us for 2 days. Don't miss our openings, don't miss our evenings, because I'm sure that you can take advantage of a lot of things that she will share with you all. Thank you so much, Pat. We see each other again in the evening.
See you
Feel
in the evening.
free to join us during any time in case you want to. But if you don't want to, it's okay. But see you later. And I will share my screen again. We already talked about Pat. Cool. And share thing here. Do you see my slide?
Yes.
Cool. So right now it's time for us to understand what is going to happen in the day. Pat already gave you some tips of the sessions of the day. I know that you already have the agenda, but I would like our amazing so hi to to explain the agenda of the day. Hi, Sol, are you here?
Yes. Hi, everyone. How are you doing today? I hope that you already enjoyed the agenda of last day, actually, because it was super, super, super cool, and I received a lot of feedback, good feedback. Thank you so much for your feedback. And yes, if you still didn't fill it, there's still you have the form inside the email. Just go through the email and you're gonna find the form there, and just fill it so that we can customize the agenda. We can customize all the conference for a better experience for you. Okay, so what do we have today in our agenda? Well, the theme of the agenda today is ECB Life, which means like we're gonna give or we're gonna go deep into the details because, well, handling such a prestigious position like ECB and being the first responsible in supporting the governance of ISEC portfolio and ensuring customer centricity, I definitely sure that it's not an easy task to control. But hey, don't worry, we got your back. So in this agenda of today, we're gonna go through the ECB basics with our lovely Fassi Morgana or Morgs, and then we're gonna be divided, as you can see here, between ECB chairs and ECB team to talk about the platforms, which is about the EXPA and Dell, and how can you use it as an ECB so that you can have more details, more analysis and everything in more efficient way. And then at the same time, we're gonna have the MC responsibles and MCP elects. And that's why I want you to call your MCP elect and your MC responsibles to be there, because today is their focus here. And we're gonna talk about how to become ECB. Then we're gonna have a break with 30 minutes as usual. Then we're gonna go back and into tracks once again, a track for the ECB chairs and the teams. We're going to talk about the ECB connections, the potential stakeholders and everything. And at the same time, with the MCP elect, yes, and the MC responsibles, we're going to talk about the common C in accordance with the elected chairs. So if you are an elected chair, you're most welcome to our session of the common C. And then we're going to have more details about the compliance metrics. So we're going to be having 1 hour and a half about the compliance metrics. We're going to be with our like lovely chair, not chair, hopefully, our lovely Fassi Lilo. Sorry, Karina. And then we're going to finish by a GCP, like how to engage your entity, like for the ECB chairs and ECB teams. And at the same time, we're going to have another session for the MCP elect and MC responsibles about the safety protocols and health management plan. So as I said, this agenda today is too functional. So, and it's also focused on your MCPs and MC responsibles. So try to call them, try to engage them, because this is the opportunity to reduce the gap between the ECBs and the MC. So yes, this is all about the agenda. I hope that you're gonna like it, and see you.
Yay. So we are around 5 minutes to start. My advice for you all is to take a quick break. So if you have to go to the restroom, if you have to go to get a water or something, feel free, because we start in 5 minutes. Am I right, guys? I am right?
Yes.
Cool.
Don't go away for too far, hey.
Can we have a song or a roll?
Yes, I'm gonna put a song.
VICO.
I want to hear the conference song again.
Why not? It's amazing.
Yes. Okay. I'll give you the honor of watching the whole video now. And the video is very funny. So, yeah. Let's
You need to
see.
share first.
Yes. Can you see it?
Yes.
Awesome. Turn off your volume to the max and just let your body loose. Okay? Just surrender to the music because it's gonna make you dance. Let's go.
VICO, 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 domino, domino, VICO, 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 domino, domino. Killing it with the guillotine flow. Career got legs like a millipede, bro. I bring the truth with the bitterness. Sister was a sonogram, I've been kicking it. I'm never nice, I say things impolitely. So let me get under your skins like Ivy. Without being bougie or gully enough, I'm getting mad respect and money and love. Ladies then get consensual and tone. My exes wanna eject the pheromone. Expect me to wreck the service in their homes when I drop bars to court service in the phone. I embrace my candor, shameless and I'm unfazed by slander. Ngoma with just a vernacular accent and quelled. Everybody who said the cell, they laughed at my folks in my home. The ones that cracked up pathetically over my clothes approach me now while I'm laughing my way to the bank, knowing they can't afford me no more. Ain't no stopping now, that's just how it goes. Make that money now, make it for my folks. Try to pull me down, I give you my sort of pose. We gon' drop you like a domino. Come on, VICO, 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 domino, domino, VICO, 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 domino, domino. Y'all get competitive, dropping shit as often as pigeons, and they squabble over the throne while I plot to topple the kingdom. Y'all like vision like Stevie Wonder's itis. I'm the kind of seller go thumb to Midas. You couldn't reach my level if you were doing lines in the space shuttle with a couple drunken pilots. Facts, leaving you clueless in demise. A vet with the hunger to nuke till I retire and go hard like a tank cement up in the Arctic while looking at Medusa in the eye. Notice before you throw some mashed hay, I was bought hard before the catchphrase. Eat it up in a sheet, plants like a vegan on a cheap day. Make it look easy. The media feeds you dishonesty. I'll be a problem for y'all in the Lehman hypotheses. White dance but I'm one to float. Treat me like an animal and I become the goat. Come on, VICO, 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 domino, domino, VICO, 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 domino, domino. Fans में आदत की बारिश है भाई, इनकी तशरीफों में खारिश है भाई, गंदी अंग्रेजी में गंदी सी तेजी को मेरी इतनी हिंदी काफी है भाई. Chinnapaya from the block, about to be a star. Anba somebody jawanda nalla sokka irpambare. Ain't no stopping now, that's just how it goes. Take that money now, make it for my folks. Try to pull me down, give you my sort of pose. We gon' drop you like a domino. Come on, VICO, 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 domino, domino. Come on, VICO, domino. Come on, VICO, domino.
Can you believe that someone actually like recruited the whole team and spent a lot of money and just to make this video? Oh my god, the first time that I heard this song, I was going crazy. Like I even sent a video to the group dancing to the song because I couldn't help myself. Like I was, VICO, VICO, VICO. So I hope that everybody was doing the same. I'm gonna give the word to Morgana and Rad to start with their awesome session. Are you ready, Morgana and Rad?
I was born ready. Ah,
Yes. Cool.
Okay,
Good
let
luck.
me share my. Thank
thank you.
you. Let me share my
I
screen.
actually have a question. Like for the people, does actually VICO mean something, or is just kind of like a random word? Because I mean, I don't know. Maybe we are talking about capybaras or something.
Yeah. That's a good question. Which
Yeah.
language is it? Is it from India?
Yeah, it's from India. I
Something.
think so. It is South Indian language, like
So
something
what
like
does
Telugu.
VICO mean?
I don't know. I'm not South Indian, but I can
Okay.
identify it was South Indian.
Anyone who's South Indian here and knows what VICO means? I guess nobody. So it's okay. We don't have to worry about hurting people's feeling or like the risk of the song being something bad. Cool.
Okay, cool. So then let's start. Yay. Our session for today is called ECV Basics. So basically a little bit about everything that should be basic